Hi everyone, this is Selena Kraus and welcome to another LDRS Creative card video. In this video we're gonna make ink blended card, and we're gonna use some of the new products that were just released. So we're gonna use the Panda Play stamp set and the coordinating dies, along with the Love Stack stamp set and the Sentiment Stack die, and previously released in the Grass die set. We're going to use the middle one with the medium kind of arch, and we're going to die cut a piece of white cardstock. We're just going to do some ink blending, so that's why I'm not cutting from colored cardstock. And I have two panels here. One was they were both 5.5 by 4 1/4. I'm just trimming it down to the width of 4. And now the background panel, we'll trim it to 4 by 5 1/4. Next, what I'll do, I'm just trying to see how low I want that grass to do. And I'm just going to trim part of the bottom so the grass doesn't come so high up. So I'm just going to trim it one more time, probably 1/4 inch. So we have those two panels, and we're going to do some ink blending now. I'm using key lime pie and olive branch. For the grass, I'm starting with the olive branch on the top, and then on the bottom I'll do the key lime pie. I'm just cleaning my brush. I'm using the same brush for both colors, just cleaning from microfiber cloth in between. So I'm just quickly blending that, making sure that I have nice transition between the two colors. Okay, now we are done with that. That looks pretty good. Now I'm marking my background to where that grass comes to, so I don't need to blend the entire background. I'll just blend it onto the area where it's not covered with the grass. So I'm starting with the lightest color. I'm using Swimming Hole, Bali Blue, and Dark Wash Jeans. So I'm going to start with the Swimming Hole, and I'm just ink blending into the center. So next I'll go with the darkest. I was just using the lightest color to mark where the center is. So because I wanted the center to be the lightest, and then to go to the darker, going to the edges of my panel. So I'm blending the Dark Wash Jeans. Next I'll go with Bali Blue and going towards the center. Again, here I'm using the same blending brush, just cleaning it in between. And then I'm going again with the lightest to blend out everything nicely, and moving back to the darkest until I get the background that pleases my eye. You can apply as much or as little color you want. It's completely up to you. I just wanted the colors, the three colors, to be nicely blended and to have nice transition between the colors. So that looks good. Next, I'll just sprinkle some shimmer paint and some white acrylic paint to create the stars. And I'm using just a diluted water, and I'm using paintbrush. So I'll set this aside to dry. In meantime, I'll stamp the panda that's looking up in the sky and the moon. I'm using the hybrid ink. I'm using the Raven, the black ink. I'll stamp it twice because the first time I didn't get nice coverage, so I just went one more time to get nice dark coverage. You can either use a stamping tool or you can use acrylic block. Here I'm using acrylic block. Then I'm using the coordinating dies to die cut that. So in the meantime, by magic of YouTube, I already colored those. And next I'm stamping the Love Stack sentiments. I'm using black cardstock. I'm using a powder tool here, so because I'll be embossing with the white, so we don't have white speckles all over the cardstock. And I'm using the watermark ink to stamp that. Next I'll apply the white embossing powder. Flick off the excess, and then I'll just heat set it. So I think we have all the embossing powder is melted. Next, I'm positioning that sentiment stack die. So it has little squares on 4 places, 2 on the left and 2 on the right, that help position that over the sentiment. And by magic of YouTube, everything, all the sentiment strips are die cut. So you can use one and save the rest for later projects. Next, I'm just trying to dry that panel because the acrylic paint that I splattered wasn't really completely dried. So I didn't want to smear it onto my project. Next, I'm just positioning where I want all the elements to go. And I'll adhere everything together. I'm using just regular adhesive for the grass, and then I'm popping the bear up onto some foam squares as well as the moon. And I'll do the sentiment as well. I'm just using black because I used black cardstock, so they're less visible when you use when those match the color of the cardstock. I'm using a tear ruler to make sure that I adhere that straight. I'm centering it over the panel. Okay, to finish off the card, we'll just adhere it on top folding white note card that I made from cardstock measuring 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored at 5 1/2. And I'm using fun foam here and some adhesive, strong adhesive to adhere that. And with that, our project is finished. And just for a little bit extra interest, I added some shimmer onto the moon. Thanks for watching, and see you soon in another video. Bye!